Everyone, please listen to me. The mind of creative genius is a strange and wonderful thing. So many great artists have shaped culture and the human experience for centuries with their interesting insights. That is what our literary association is all about, creation and appreciation. Good morning to one and all gathered here. We, the Department of English, is extremely delighted to welcome you all to the Valediction of English Literary Association and to the farewell celebration of final UG and PG. We decided to make this day a remarkable and a memorable one for all of us. Without much ado, let's begin the day.
Prayer is an invocation of the heart, a calling forth of divine energies to be manifested in one's life. Time spent in prayer refreshes, renews, and strengthens us. Before we move to the valedictory, let us first pay homage to our roots, our unity, and our heritage. Please rise for the prayer song, followed by the college anthem and Tamil Taiwan, led by Dr. L. Rohan David and his daughter.
There's a line, a chance with hope and a place where we start. With you mercy, stay alive. Let your glory pour out deep. There's a joy that overwhelms our soul as we know our God is in control overflow. Let your favor pour out deep. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. There's a joy that overwhelms our souls as we know our God is in control overflow. Let your favor pour out, Jesus, Jesus. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. All the plans you have for me, my life is in your hands. It's to be eyes of faith like a galaxy. God is good all the time. It's song of praise and it's God of mine. God is good all the time. Through the darkest night, His light will shine. God is good. God is good all the time. God is good all the time. We do a song of praise and it's God of mine. God is good all the time. Through the darkest night, His light will shine. God is good. God is good. He is good. He is Praise be to God, we are knowledge. Friends, we could reach a bigger college. The spring of life, the knowledge mine, the gems of Valediction. With pride and love, the minds we hold, to face and love the words of war. With pride and love, the minds we hold, to face and love the words of war. Love of private hope, the dawn of in valley road. And one in me was born, away of life, the stars that shone. His side and mine in me was born, away of life, the stars that shone. Silence me, break me, but my sin, fulfill and promise glory's name. Praise be Lord beyond knowledge. Praise be to Bishop Stephen College. The spring of life, the knowledge mine, the gems of Valediction. Praise, Bishop Stephen's name. Sing out the numbers with mighty praise. நீராடும் கடவுளுக்கு நிலமணந்த கீழொழுகும் சீராடும் பதனமென திகழ்பரத கொண்டமிட்டு எக்களமும் மதிசிறந்த திராவிடனன் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு நிறைவுகளும் தரித்தலும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் வளர்ந்த இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரியமை திறமியந்து செயல்மறந்து வாழ்ந்துதுமே வாழ்ந்துதுமே வாழ்ந்துதுமே.
Thank you, Goya. Everybody, please be seated.
A warm welcome is the first sign of hospitality. Words of welcome fill an occasion with warmth and makes one feel that one is meant to be there. I call upon Mr. J. Johnson Bride, Cultural Coordinator of ELA, to welcome the gathering.
The soul should always stand at your ready to welcome the ecstatic experience. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed dignitaries, respected teachers, and dear students, a very warm welcome to you all on behalf of the Department of English. Blowing the air of ecstasy, I extend my warm welcome to each one of you to the valedictory ceremony of our English Literary Association. First and foremost, I welcome the divine to shine his light of wisdom to guide us throughout the evening. Now, with immense gratitude, I take this moment to honor the presence of the President of the valedictory function, Professor A. Alagappan Moses, the Vice Principal of A-Led Stream. Sir, has always been a constant source of encouragement and support. Thank you, sir. I welcome you, sir. Grabbing this precise moment and making the best of it, I would like to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Abdul Muhammad Hari Jinnah, Associate Professor of English, Jamal Muhammad College. Sir has over 2 decades of experience in teaching. Sir is an ardent reader and a wonderful researcher and teacher. Today he has agreed to treat us with his wise words. I am sure Sir's presence here will motivate and inspire everyone here. Extending our cordial welcome, I am delighted to welcome our revered principal Dr. J. Principal in Accenture, whose able leadership and excellence vibrates and echoes throughout the campus. Bursar Dr. C. Ganapal, who along with their duties bestowed, served as a pioneering voice for the young minds of the Eber family. Next, I would like to welcome our dynamic head of the department, Dr. S. Sopana, for her presence and motivation. I also extend my hearty welcome to Dr. Suresh Frederick, UGA, and Dean of Training and Placement for your support. Sir, your guidance ensures that our students receive the best of opportunities. I also welcome Dr. S.P. Rudhrajati, Coordinatorship to English, for your continuous support in all the activities of the English Literature Association. I welcome you. And I am also extremely delighted to welcome the President of English Literary Association, having in a resilient president all through the year, Dr. G. Parvati. Last but not least, I extend a note of warm welcome to all my fellow ELA members, members of both teaching and non-teaching staff, volunteers, and my student friends. Once again, a hearty welcome to one and all.
Thank you, Johnson, for affording each and everyone a warm welcome.
Honoring others is not only a gracious act, but also a recognition of their work, their contributions, and their excellence. As a token of expressing our gratitude and respect, I request Dr. Suresh Frederick, UG Head, to honor our Vice Principal elect, Professor A. Alagappa Moses, with a shawl and present a memento. I request Dr. S. Sobra, Head of our department, to honor our Chief Guest, Dr. Abdul Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Associate Professor, Department of English, Jamal Muhammad College, Trichy, with a shawl and present a memento. I request Dr. S.P. Ruth Rajati, Coordinator Shift to honor our beloved teacher and bursar, Dr. C. Ganapal, with a shawl and present a memento. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
As we delve into the pages of our progress, let us remember that each line tells a story of dedication, resilience, and achievement. Our literary association has been busy buzzing with plenty of activities throughout the year. I invite Dr. R. Andy Bargain, Assistant Professor of English and ELA Media Coordinator, to present the report on the activities of the Literary Association for the academic year 2023-24.
The activities of English Literary Association for the academic year 2023-2024 initiated with the investiture ceremony and freshers party during the inaugural function on 3rd August 2023. The Vice Principal, Professor A. Alagappa Moses, presided over the meeting. The guest of honor, Dr. J. John Lovejoy, Associate Professor of English, St. Joseph's College, connected art, literature, and psyche through a visual tweet. This was followed by the induction of ELA office bearers and the welcoming of freshers, which evolved as a symphony of talents, mirth, and fellowship. On the 9th August 2023, an intra-departmental quiz contest was conducted by Quizlet on the theme Greek mythology. Ms. Harani and Ms. Ashika, Assistant Professors of English, Vishikiba College, were the eminent quiz mistresses for 78 quizzers. The English Literary Association orchestrated a two-day literary extravaganza, Confidence and Drama Fest on the 16th and 17th August 2023 respectively. This intra-departmental fiesta served as a talent hub for 360 students to exhibit their creative skills in various on-stage and off-stage competitions like quiz, verse writing, face painting, photography, short film, literary parade, and talent. Mr. M. Josiah Emanuel, Assistant Professor of English, the American College, and Musical Advisor of Maverick Theatre Productions, Madurai, was the chief guest of Drama Fest, and he emphasized on the importance of theatre arts and drama and how we can see a part of ourselves in a drama. 120 students emerged as champions in this venture. The students of 2nd MA aided and 3rd BA aided were the overall winners and runners respectively. Caliber 2023 alias Caliber 2023, an interdepartmental extravaganza was revived by the English Literary Association on 14th and 15th of September 2023. 350 participants from 29 disciplines amalgamated to showcase their talents and creativity on the theme Eco-Conscious Living in competitions such as Just a Minute, Elocution, Verse Writing, Short Story Writing, Poster Making, Short Film, Photography, and Admiral. Dr. Paul Zayabran, the then principal, presided over the meeting. The chief guest was Dr. M.J. Mary Jayanti, Associate Professor of English and writer, Holy Cross College, galvanized the audience with an emphatic speech on empowerment and how to be an everyday winner with the power of language. 120 contestants won prizes. BA History and BBA Aviation and Ground Handling emerged as the winners and runners of Caliber 2023. The two-day theatre workshop from page to stage was organized by the ELA on 26th and 27th September 2023. The resource person, Dr. L. Ilango, Associate Professor, the American College, Madurai, and founder of Fourth Wall, shared his expertise on data dynamics and honed the performance skills of 50 participants. The English Literary Association instilled the spirit of sportsmanship by hosting intra-departmental throwball tournament for girls and cricket tournament for boys on 9th December 2023 and 16th December 2023 respectively. Dr. R. Sisigaran, Associate Professor, and Dr. Navam Kirverajan, Dr. Abraham Kumar, Ms. S. Devi Nivedita, and Ms. Harani, Assistant Professors of English, Vishikiba College, facilitated and organized the matches. 75 girls and 110 boys exercised their fitness by playing the matches. The girls team from 2nd MA English A and 3rd BA emerged as the winners and runners of throwball respectively. The boys team from 2nd BA and 3rd BA were the winners and runners of cricket respectively. The ELA hosted the Christmas celebration with the rhythmic performance of the department choristers in the multipurpose auditorium on 19th December 2023. The chief guest, Pastor M. John Kamaresh, Glorious Cloud Ministries, spread the Christmas cheers, enlightening the gathering on the topic duality, a blend of literature and spirituality. On the same day, ELA extended its wings through Christmas outreach at CSA School, Hennur, by sharing the message of love through gifts and delicacies. An intra-departmental quiz contest was conducted on 9th January 2024 by the quiz coordinators Ms. R. Harani and Ms. Ashika, Assistant Professors of English, on Booker Prize winners from 1980 to 2023. 88 students activated their brains and the winners were from 2nd MA area. A Scrabble orientation program was organized on 29 January 2024. A passionate Scrabble player, Mr. Renganathan Chakravarti, Scrabble Grandmaster, addressed the students on the perks of learning Scrabble and taught them how to play the game and motivate the students to indulge in the language game. The English Literary Association witnessed a spectacular silver jubilee of intercollegiate literary extravaganza legend the 25th time on February 21st and 22nd. Contestants representing 21 different colleges from all over Tamil Nadu exhibited a splendid spectacle by competing in various events including paper presentation, quiz, literary parade, news bulletin, tableau, photography, short film, drama, pencil sketching, and face painting on the theme Legends of Literature. Dr. Punya Rajendran, Assistant Professor of English, Central University, Tiruvarur, shed light on the works of the legend, Wordsworth, and shared intriguing facts about him. The chief guest writer Jaya Madhavan emphasized the importance of a healthy circadian rhythm and how one can see oneself through the characters in a novel. The event was presided over by the principal, Dr. Dev Principalan, and felicitated by Dr. S. Shobana, Dean of Arts, Dr. Suresh Frederick, Dean of Research, and Dr. C. Dhanapal Baza. The self-financing team and the aided team of Lady Doe College, Madurai, emerged as the overall winners and runners. A replica of the Forest of Arden and a harvest of ardent, passionate performance, unfurling a tapestry of love, intrigue, chivalry, sibling rivalry, and revelry, was the happening in the two shows of heroes experience through the enactment of As They Like It, a Shakespearean adaptation on 19th March 2024. The cast and crew comprising of 80 members, inclusive of the exclusive craft of the art team, savor the fruits of the 3-month labor with the astonishing display under the guidance of Dr. P. Suresh Kumar, Ms. Harini and Ms. Ranjini, the Dean of University Assistant Professor of English. Dr. E. N. Jayapal, Head and Associate Professor of English, St. Joseph's College, Dr. K. Umar Farooq, Assistant Professor of English, Jamal Umar College, and Dr. N. Ilango, founder of Fourth Ford, felicitated the vibrant performers. The ELA was instrumental in channelizing the essential performance skills of 100 students from both Shift 1 and Shift 2 by facilitating them to explore their creative acumen in 7 inter-college competitions hosted by different colleges in Tamil Nadu and takes pride in recording that Tiberians emerged as the overall winners in 6 ventures. They are Arcadia organized by Lady Doe College Madurai on 1st September 2023, Providential organized by Fatima College Felicitation Madurai on 26th September 2023, Oracle organized by Fatima College Aided Stream Madurai on 15th December 2023, Acme organized by Holy Cross College Trichy on 12th December 2023, Sahitya organized by Gandhinagar Rural Institute Deemed to be University Dindigul on 17th February 2024, and Pegasus organized by American College Madurai on 24th February 2024. Today, in this valediction, the August gathering is about to witness the culmination of the activities of ELA for the academic year 2023-2024, awaiting the presidential address of the dynamic Vice Principal Professor Alagappa Moses, Chief Guest Address of an erudite scholar Dr. Abdul Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Associate Professor of English, Jamal Muhammad College, followed by prize distribution and a farewell party for the outgoing students, proving that the English Literary Association is a multifunctional pedestal serving as a podium for a pool of talents, iconic holding of skills by eminent experts, and a fellowship vehicle. Thank you all for your patience listening. My thanks are due to Ms. Manshi of Second Year for assisting me in the documentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With his inspiring vision, empowering leadership, and an unwavering dedication to greatness, our Vice Principal Aided, Professor A. Aragappa Moses, remains an exemplary guiding spirit of our institution. May I request you, sir, to deliver the presidential address?
Esteemed Chief Guest of this English Literary Association's Valediction, Dr. China from the Jamal Muhammad College, Dr. Shobhana, the head of the department, Dr. Suresh Kadri, the UG head, Dr. C. Dhanapal, the bursar of the college, Dr. Ruth Rajati, shift to coordinator, Dr. Parvati, the staff advisor of the ELA, and faculty members associated with this ELA, and all the student participants of the association and the organizing committee members. Let me congratulate and appreciate the organizing committee for thoughtfully planning and conducting all the events all through this academic year. And the report clearly showed that you have participated in many events and you have conducted a lot of programs through which you all have acquired many skills and talents. You have exposed all your talents and you have won prizes. And in the intercollegiate competitions, I appreciate and congratulate you for all that. And the drama yesterday, the event that took place, I heard that it went well, and then there were a lot of people appreciating all the effort that is taken and making all the properties and then making all the presentations to the professional level. My dear students and the members of the faculty of the ELA, as the Bishop Keeper College is marching towards the fifth accreditation cycle, we need to focus more on many of the other attributes in addition to whatever you are performing as the literary association, the music, the drama, and all the skills associated with the theatre events and all the oratorial competitions, your debate and multiple skills you are acquiring through this association. At the same time, you need to play a very important role in fulfilling the mandate of the government, the mandate of the United Nations, the mandate of the need of the hour, that is the climate change. I appreciate Dr. Suresh Frederick for organizing, I think, the ICON, in which you have made the climate advocacy is one of the important focal theme of the conference. And so as your department is also involved in fulfilling the sustainable development goals. So therefore, my appeal to you at this culmination event of this ELA is, in the years ahead, as you pass out of this institution, wherever you go, try to focus on the 17 sustainable goals and the climate adaptation measures that are need to be taken up. Because it is not only the government, it's not only the 193 nations who are signatory of the Sustainable Development Goals, the Millennium Declarations, and so on and so forth. But still, it is the duty of each and every one of us. The 8.5 billion dreams is going to play an important role in shaping the present millennium and all our future generations. So therefore, you try to remember all the 17 goals and try to address as much as possible in each and every goal. The 169 targets and 247 indicators of the 17 goals is very important. So the Bishop Keeper College, next academic year, we are going to focus more on this. Almost all the Part 5 clubs will be focusing more on these 17 goals and how this will be achieved by 2030. So every associations, including English Literary Association, will be assigned with the special responsibility of taking up some initiatives in your area of specialization, respective domain, and you will be given an accreditation or a kind of an award at the end of the academic year. So with this focus, I request all the head of the Department of English, the UG head, the shift coordinator, and all the staff advisors and all the members gathered here to reorient yourselves towards these SDGs and then try to address the climate advocacy, climate resilience, and climate change, climate adaptations, and all the measures that are required to be part of this initiative in terms of bringing down the carbon footprint. So, my appreciation and congratulations to each and every one of you. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your illuminating address.
Our beloved Madam, Dr. S. Shobana, Head of our Department and Dean of Arts Academics, is a great teacher, one who inspires confidence, kindles imagination, and instills a love for learning. I request you, ma'am, to offer your felicitation for the valediction of our literary association.
Good morning all, especially students. Good morning. Good morning and most welcome, Dr. Jina from the Jamal. Most welcome, sir, Vice Principal, sir. And welcome and thanks to my fellow teachers and dear students. I am the happiest today, rather elated that this been such an eventful year throughout. We always end or draw the curtains on a year's events with a hope that we will work towards the best. So the best is yet to come. It's with that kind of a hope and a longing that we close on a year's eventful literary association. Event. Well, that hope comes to us because we're able to see the light of hope already in the so many talents that the students have exhibited through the year. Of course, many of you there in the final year will be on. Some of you will come to our PG, and so you will continue to be there in the Literary Association and you will contribute to the association. Now I look at the students, whether you will be here or not, as students who leave behind in your own time the seed for this hope. And that's what will make you to exhibit your talents, especially through the drama and the quiz club and through the book and film review club. These clubs have been very active, and rest assured, this kind of a seed has been planted already. And the juniors are there watching you, and they will grow in your footsteps. And so the hope is very clear before us. So Literary Association goes from stage to stage, working towards this hope of getting the best. The best is always yet to come. And that's how we think of the best. It's always better that we think of the best that way. But today it's a special day because I'm rather excited to listen to Dr. Jinnah addressing on such an occasion, because I've listened to a number of serious lectures from him. He's a person who could easily attract the most energetic group of students through his lectures, but I sit wondering there how he would approach the subject of drawing the curtains on an eventful year today at Valediction. And I am all the more excited, like you, young students, to listen to him. And so, thank you very much once again that you've offered us an opportunity, especially the teachers who know him well as a scholar, who's used over 2 hours or 3 hours of lecture in one stretch, and to keep the students in rapt attention, which is more important. Maybe some of you were not exposed to that. Many of your seniors were made to listen to such lectures, and they had a wonderful time with it through such serious lectures. And so I'm happy and excited today that that is going to happen. And this is a time of thanking for me. The end of the year, not that only at the end of the year someone should thank him if having done anything. As I told you, it's for keeping up the light of hope. I thank each and every one of you students for so easily coming forward to participate. I thank the Literary Association as a whole and the leadership of Dr. Parvati, who is very instrumental. Whoever will be the leader should be someone whose personality should stretch hands towards the students like this, welcoming anybody who would want to approach the association take part and exhibit the talents, or just have an experience of watching students from close quarters, how the others, the participants exhibit their talents, something like that, some kind of a participation, passive or active, and immensely thankful to the association under the leadership of Dr. Parvati. Thank you very much, Parvati, for such a kind of a personality of stretching out the hands towards both the teachers and staff, welcoming anyone who would like to be a part of it as an active or passive participant, at least watching, at least being, overseer as a supervisor, or even an art team, anything. That kind of an exercise I was watching, it was going on, and this exercise is something that's sure to take the association strides ahead. I am happy and thankful to the whole lot of associations, especially the staff members. Generally, associations and departments are not meant to have staff members participating in such big numbers, but our department is one that has a number of staff, teachers, both the sections of both shift 1 and 2. It's because they've been given assignments to take over, supervise, and have a group of students under them, teach them how to work in groups, to teach them what to work on, acting or quizzing or reviewing or art work, music or dance, something that I can remember. Maybe there are many more than that, including working in groups, teaming, teamship, and all that, leadership, and all that, including running about jobs. Like getting the food arranged, getting all those arrangements done in time, printing the invitations, everything. And so I thank at this juncture some of the staff I can remember. It doesn't mean that I left out anybody deliberately, but it's a big department, you know. I'm thankful to each and every one of the teachers, especially for just allowing the students, giving them a permission from their class. Even that happened with ease. That is also very important, you know, to be able to go and take part in an event, intercollegiate or intra-departmental, or the practice which went on for about a month or so, even more than that, for the drama staging, enactment. I thank each and every one of the teachers, especially class teachers, subject teachers too, for giving the permission with ease, not that easy. But they did it without much qualms, and I thank certain of them whom I remember, like Dr. Annie, Dr. Melvin. I think we clap and help them feel good. Dr. Rajan, and many more. Dr. Suresh Kumar, Sarani, Swanjani, I can see Ms. Lavina, Ms. Jansi, and Ms. Devi Vedita, I can see Esther Osina, all the teachers, directly and indirectly responsible for honing your skills related to the practice of literature in the form of dramatization or poetry writing. We have a couple of poets in the third years, very serious poets. One of them, Shifra, if you're here, you can stand up, is listed as the first underwriter, Shifra, she deserves a big clap. Safa, who's participated in a number of events again. Thank you, made the department proud, and you spread inspiration across. Thank you, each and everyone. You're most welcome.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of appreciation.
There's a saying when you're around enormously successful people, you realize that their success isn't an accident, but it's about hard work. Our chief guest, Dr. Abdul Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Associate Professor, Department of English, Jamal Muhammad College, Trichy, is a hard-working, dynamic teacher who has inspired thousands of students with his knowledge and wisdom. I request Dr. P. Suresh Kumar, Assistant Professor of English, to introduce our esteemed chief guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am overjoyed to introduce the chief guest of this Valediction, Dr. Abdul Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Associate Professor, Department of English, Jamal Muhammad College, an ardent lover of literature, an avid reader and specialist in literary theory and pop culture. Our chief guest is a wonderful speaker who has delivered keynote addresses in various conferences in India and abroad. His creative talent has brought out both academic and fictional works, and he has delivered lectures in more than 80 invited talks. And his average profile runs for 30 pages. So, his students have a query and an answer, and it goes like this. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach. Dr. Abdul Muhammad Ali Jinnah is a master craftsman in inspiring, teaching, and transforming generation and generation of students. He is adored not only by his students, but students of his students. So, he is a great teacher, and to quote Brown, who does what many dream of all their lives. As the chief guest of yesterday's evening pointed out, we come from the same school of genius. It is my pride, privilege, and prerogative to introduce my beloved teacher and guide who has taught me to strive, to seek, to find, and not believe. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. With utmost reverence and regard, we extend our warmest welcome to our distinguished chief guest. As we assemble here today, we are reminded of the profound impact of leadership encapsulated in the words, a great leader builds character, inspires dream, encourages creativity, builds confidence, and instills a wealth of learning. Sir, your esteemed presence embodies these virtues, and we are truly honored and privileged to have you with us. With sincere admiration, may I kindly invite you to share your invaluable wisdom, thus enriching our gathering and illuminating our minds with your profound insights.
Thank you. Good morning, all of you. Most respected Vice Principal of this illustrious institution, my dear friends, I should say, from dais, Dr. Shobana, Dr. Suresh Frederick, Dr. Parvati, Dr. Dhanapal, Dr. Melvin, Professor Ruth Rajati, Dr. Suresh, thank you for your wonderful introduction, though it reeked of nepotism. But thank you for those warm words, Dr. Annie, and all the other staff members of Bishop Weaver College, both self-financed and aided. The ELA office bearers, students who are there on the MC desk, and of course, the great students of Bishop Weaver College. It's always a pleasure to come to Bishop Weaver College and meet you students. I was just hearing the activities of the ELA for the previous year, and hats off to you. Why don't you just clap for yourself? You have been outstanding, I should say. The number of programs that have been organized and the success stories which Dr. Annie just read out was heartwarming. It's always heartwarming to hear the success stories of the students, and whenever I come to Bishop Eva, I always mention this. You're always a cut above the students of every other institution that I have met, and that's exactly why I love coming to Bishop Eva, though it's been quite some time, I should say, with a hint of regret. There was a time when I used to come to Bishop Eva almost every semester, maybe 3-4 times. So the students were very close to me. Nowadays, you don't know me. I think I should extend what Ulysses says, and as Dr. Suresh was saying, I would rather say that you know not me. You do not know me. Nobody knows Jinnah. Fortunate for some of you, I should say. But unfortunate for me because I enjoy the privilege of being a very known person. So wherever I go, whichever college I go to, I will always enjoy the respect that I used to command earlier. Of meeting the students, of meeting the staff members, of meeting, my contemporaries. We belong to a very distinguished batch because all of us belong to a generation that is called the Generation X. Some of us are baby boomers and some of us are Generation X. As I was telling my good friend Dr. Dhanapal in the morning, we are very fortunate because we had a legacy of teachers who taught us. And from that, that insight which we got into our subject, literature and language, we came over fresh as teachers and we met and regaled with a generation of students who are the millennials. And, they are very different from you, the Generation Z, the Zoomers of today, because the millennials were sort of very respectful towards us. The Guru Sishya Parampara which we used to have with our students, I hope my generation would always remember that. The kind of, as I said, it's a legacy. The kind of legacy that we were having is sadly missing today because your generation is very different, especially after the COVID, the quarantine that we spent, 2 years of the quarantine. I believe that the generation has changed a lot and we no longer command the same kind of respect and concentration from the students because you are more prone to be attacked by your mobile phones rather than by the scholarship of teachers like us. But anyways, that's how the generation changes, right? So it's not a complaint that I reach out to you. It's more as Tennyson would say, or rather like King Arthur would say, the old order goeth and the new order cometh. So the new order has come. And most of us here, thank you sir, thank you for gracing the occasion. And most of us here, people who are here on the dais and some who are off the dais also, teachers, we recognize, we understand, and we sort of compromise. And we come to a context, a situation where we understand that the parameters have changed, but we also mold ourselves accordingly. And one of the facets of that molding, which I was just talking to you about, is where you see me here today on the dais. I don't like the dais. As some of my students who have already attended my sessions would know, I actually do not prefer the dais at all. I would rather be over there with you as, a mic in hand and walking up and down and talking to you about topics which are very close to my heart. But today, situation has changed. I have to be necessarily restricted by the boundary of this pedestal and a bound mic. So from here, I'm just trying to sort of negotiate a bridging of two different generations, a bridging of two different cultures, I should say. Or rather, as Samuel T. Huntington would say, it's a bridging of two different civilizations because generations today are also measured in terms of civilization. I mean, you belong to a digital civilization and I belong to a non-digital civilization. What I can do is that only migrate over to your generation as a teacher who loves his profession, as many of my fellow teachers are trying to do. Some of us are succeeding in doing, and some of us fail to. But as I said, that's part and parcel of being our life. So I would just touch upon a topic which I believe is something right up your venue. How many of you, show of hands, have heard of something that is called a digital narrator? A digital narrator? Anyone? Have you? You have? Right. Now, when it comes to your generation, the Zoomer generation, Gen Z, or the Zoomer, as we call yourselves, see, the very term is synonymous, right? Zoom. Some of you must have started attending your classes on Zoom. More than a physical classroom, it would have been more of a digital classroom. The Zoom platform would have been, your source of compromise between the teachers and you. So, how do we actually reach out to a generation like yours? That's a very big question. And that is exactly where the huge lacunae, the huge gap is trying to be sort of filled up by the creation of a narrative that is called a digital narrative. Now, I was fortunate enough to be on the board, what we would call the board of studies here, right? So, in international country like Indonesia, they rather call it not a board of studies, they call it an educational board. So I was fortunate enough to be on that board, and that board includes students also. So the primary client, they call the students as clients. So they are given the option of choosing their subjects or the syllabus, as we call it here. And one of the topics that came for contention was a very interesting paper, poem, which I'm sure many of you must have read. Have you heard of the poem called Raven? Edgar Allan Poe? Have you read the poem? Yes? Yes or no? Yes? How did you read that poem? It's a very interesting question that I have to put across to you, because I have been fortunate to teach the poem in the conventional form and then again in the unconventional form. So for you, if that poem had been dealt in the syllabus, in your classrooms, I'm sure you would be given a text, words, the title, name of the poet, and then the entire text of the poem, and probably one of your teachers would have come to you and read out the poem to you, made you read the poem, and then you together would have discussed the poem, right? Do you remember the beginning of the poem? I love that poem. I've been fortunate, as I said, to teach the poem in two different methodologies. The first method is the method that we usually follow, right, sir? I'm sure all of us have read the poem, enjoyed the poem. So when I do it in my classrooms, I would first establish the setting. So I would say it's a dark, dark night, and you have this very melancholic poet slash character slash persona slash Poe himself, who has just buried his beloved, and he has come back home, and he's sitting in his study. It's a very gothic atmosphere. It's New York, the old New York, not the New York, the Big Apple that we know of today. It's an old New York, which is very gothic in its setting. If you have seen the movies of, there was one Johnny Depp movie called Sleepy Hollow. If you have seen that movie, you would understand, how old world US looks like. So we have that sort of an setting, and from that setting we come to the room, and in that room we have a bust, a statue of a Greek god. In the text, she is called Pallas. So we have the bust of Pallas, and from that the poem begins. Now this is the conventional methodology of reading, teaching, and understanding that we know. So mostly what happens here is that we go into a kind of an imagination. An imagination for the students of literature is a very, very vital element, because we always have to imagine, we have to think, We have to put the ideas that the poet tries to convey into our minds, and from our minds we need to create a palace of illusions in the way of a canvas. Now this is exactly how I read the poem, this is exactly how we have taught the poem, and this is how I'm sure the students who are over there interacting with me would have also read the poem. But I don't know what happened over there. They said, those students, they said, sir, we do not understand this. We don't want this. We don't want the old methodologies of teaching. We do not want the old methodologies of learning literature. We want something new. So we asked them, what new do you want? What exactly do you want new? So they said, please create a text for us in which there is not just the text, or rather the words, but also a visual graphic. So they wanted whatever is being formed here in our minds to be always given to them on a platter in the form of a graphic novel. So have you heard of the term graphic novel? Do you know that there is a very famous graphic novel which is based on Edgar Allan Poe's poem? What's the name of the poem? Raven. Now this graphic novel has been given a name. What do you think is the name of the novel? What is the most famous word in that poem? Nevermore. Right? Nevermore. That's a refrain that comes in that poem again and again where the raven speaks. So, that graphic novel is named Nevermore. What a name for a horror story, right? I mean, the raven, fine. It's so cliched. But here, the novelist's term is titled Nevermore. So from there, the novel starts. So they wanted that novel to be their source material. That's very interesting, right? A poem being not taught just in the poem form, but in a graphic novel form. And when I use the term graphic novel, I hope you understand that it involves not just the text, but it also involves the sketch, the illustration, the diagram, everything goes along with that. Comes the question, how many of you have read the poem, right? So have you seen that bust which he talks about? You remember that raven comes and sits on that bust of Alice, and from there the poem starts. How many of you have actually seen that bust? Bust is a statue, right? Which is chest height. So how many of you have seen that statue? Because for us, mostly it's just a hazy recollection in our minds. But if you have read that novel, that graphic novel, you will understand that it's over there. So you have a big shelf of books, and on top of that shelf you have a small bust of the god, and on top of that you have the raven. What a beautiful way of reading. Children, you have to understand why I am telling you this, because as I said, your generation is a very different generation. It's not as visually alluring, I should say, in the sense of an imagination which our generation knows. For you, it's always the supply that has to be demanded and given it to you on a platter. You need it right then and there. That's why you have Google as your best teacher. You have to wait for your teachers. You don't have to wait for Google. It's always there for you. It's in your hand. And as I speak here, there are some who are sitting over there who are already Googling things. Hopefully, you're Googling out that novel, I should assume. Good for you if you're doing that. So that's where your generation comes. Do you know what your generation has been termed? I know, of course, I've been talking in terms of Zoomers and Gen Zs. Do you know there is a specific word that has been coined for your generation in the year 2021? Very important year because it's a year immediately after the corona, after the quarantine. Your generation was given a specific name. Any idea what? It was considered to be Oxford Dictionary's most popular word of that year, 2021. You know what they called you? They called you the goblins. And your methodologies of reading, of understanding, of analyzing, of being, sort of, was called the goblin mode. Very interesting, right? So have you heard the goblin language? Have you heard the goblin language? Any of you? No, don't go back to Harry Potter and tell me that goblin language is gobbledygook. No. Goblin language is the language that you speak, the language that we sort of communicate in, English. But your English is so different from mine. All of you are very well versed in the vocabulary. Can someone tell me the spelling of the word later? Later? L-A-T-E-R? L-A-T-E-R? No. In gobbling mode, it is not later, L-A-T-E-R. It is L-A-R. Right? Have you used that in your textings? Do you know, very interestingly, that there is a novel titled Later, Greater? Have you read that novel, anyone? It's written by a 21st century phenomenon writer. I don't know whether we can call anyone a writer anymore, but she is a very popular writer. Her name is Lauren Myracle. Okay? Miracle Myracle. She calls herself Myracle. M-Y-R-A-C-L. The name of her novel is Later, Greater, but it is not spelled in the conventional sense. It is L-A-R, G-A-R. So that's gobbledygook. Can you imagine the plight of people like us, holding that novel in our hand and reading a text that is absolutely against our sacrosanct understanding of the language? I believe we have a huge problem with that. But that's exactly how your generation operates. And that is exactly how your generation also wants the language and the literature and the narrative to be. So we are talking in terms of digital narratives, which are also called, very interestingly, as goblin narratives. So going back to the Raven, we designed the curriculum in which the Raven was part of the syllabus, and we designed sort of, a text in which the Raven, which comes from 19th century America, US, down to 21st century local / English lingo. So there, can you imagine the Victorian dress which probably Poe would have been wearing? So here we have Poe who wears slacks, a sneakers, a torn sneakers, and a hoodie. And he's walking with his friends after burying his beloved. What's her name? Lenore. He has just buried his beloved. They're coming back and they sort of go back to their individual houses. And the term they use is later homies. That's the usual term of saying bye nowadays, right? They say later homies, and each one of them disperses. And he comes to his room, and in his room, he does not have a bust of Pallas. He actually has a graphic picture of Pallas, and on that sits a raven, and that raven starts from there. Because the people who are on the board, they say it's because our students do not understand how the entire context of a setting works nowadays. So we have to bring it back to them. We have, as I said, I keep repeating this idiom. We have to give it to them on a platter. So, my dear students, you have all celebrated a great year. You have finished off a year. Some of you are going to get out of Bishop Weaver College and go and face the world. And however it happens, wherever you go, please remember that the subject that you chose for yourselves, this great subject, literature, is always going to be there with you. I love the fact that many of the people who talked about, who introduced me, they used this one term, they called me a reader, which means that I have never become a master of the subject. It means that I'm still a student of the subject. So that's one thing about this subject. You can never become a master. You can ask some of my friends who are here also. You can never ever become a master of the subject. All you can do is try to reach as much as you can. Try to read as much as you can. So you're always going to remain readers. Read with passion, but also remember that this reading with passion also has to be changing with the times. So read with passion, yes, of course, but also read with the idea, with the knowledge of how literature is reaching out to the 21st century generation. When we came out of graduation and when we were facing the world as some of you are facing today, we never had any doubts. What are we going to do? We wanted to become teachers because it is only in this great profession where you can be in touch with your subject, you can be in touch with your students, and at the same time you can also be in touch with your passion, and that is the passion of reading. We still read. We still love reading. Remember that. Tomorrow you are going out to the world. Please do not give up your passion for reading. Read a lot. But read with change. Try to read the new things that have come. When I was young, when I was sitting over there as a student, let's say 25 years ago, I remember that the person who came to deliver the valedictory address for my, ELA valediction in Pondicherry University, he exhorted us to do only one thing. He said, read. He said, read the classics. Because it's the classics that are going to give you a sense of what you are going to face in your life later. He was a Victorian gentleman. His ideas were Victorian. When I use the term here, Victorian, please understand that I am using it in terms of being an archaic person. A person who is old-fashioned in his views, but we enjoyed his lecture. We loved what he told us, and we followed him to the hill. Yes. But my dear friends, for you, I am not saying that read the classics. I say fine, read the classics, but read the classics in a refined mode. Read the classics in a very different way. Read the classics in the way where digital narratives reach out to us and they make you understand the incomprehensible which you have in the classic. Look at the great and venerable Sherlock Holmes. Dr. Suresh would agree with me, because he is a Sherlock Holmes scholar. So the great Sherlock Holmes, the great Victorian detective, we loved reading him. We enjoyed his exploits. And then those exploits were translated into the kind of movies and series that we still watch. There are still movies about Sherlock Holmes being made. But the Victorian Sherlock is not in vogue, in fashion anymore, because Sherlock Holmes, the detective, has kind of refined himself with the times, and we have Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock today, the BBC Sherlock, where the Victorian Sherlock has molded himself into a kind of a very contemporary Sherlock. So Moriarty, his arch villain, is not the Moriarty of old. He's a different genius in a different way. His avatar has changed. The setting has changed. The stories have also changed. Though the titles might be the same, but the stories have changed. Children, that's the way you need to approach the subject. That's the way you need to approach the reading that you need to do. You had a great text being enacted for you yesterday, As You Like It. The Shakespearean style of As You Like It. But please go and check how As You Like It is being adapted and refashioned with the times. I think the right word to use is the word refashioned. It has been refashioned for the times. So go back to the universities of Oxford and find out how the refashioning of As You Like It is happening today. You will be amazed. The Forest of Arden is now changing. All those old Elizabethan costumes are now changing. I know, of course. There's always a pro and a con. For those of us like me who belong to the earlier generation, we would be telling you, look, this is wrong. Don't change the setting because we need to have a sense of the history of the time. That's exactly why we are offering you courses like History of English Literature and Social History of England. But a newfound teacher with newfangled ideas, that teacher comes across and asks a very pertinent question: why should I learn the culture, the history of a nation that had colonized us? I mean, we are post-colonial, so why should we read about the social history of England? That's a very pertinent question. I do not have an answer for that. I do not have a ready-made answer for that. So you need to sort of bandy yourselves between that old world thought and the newfangled ideas where India, or rather our great nation, as a post-colonial nation, is bringing up new ideas of refashioning. It's happening all over the world. So watch As You Like It in that way. The text might remain the same, the basic plot line would remain the same, but the ideas and the way it has been brought about has changed. Please read that also. You have an idea when you put together both these juxtapositions and find out how exactly things are becoming more exciting. Our subject will never die. It will never perish. You know why? Because it keeps changing. It keeps molding like a chameleon. And I am asking you to go back to those new moldings and read those new texts, like the one which I just mentioned, where the language has been played with. Shakespeare played with this language, we considered him to be great. But do you think in his own time Shakespeare would have been considered as great? No. There would have been purists even in those times who would have said, why are you playing with our language? Purists exist even today. I'm not in any way saying that Lauren Myracle is in any way as great as Shakespeare. No, that's not my idea at all. What I'm trying to tell you is language always keeps evolving, language always keeps adapting itself to the different times. We need to adapt ourselves also. That's the only way to survive. So children, go out there, have a lot of fun. Some of you please come back as teachers because all of us are going to retire very soon. The entire generation is going to go out. New ideas can be brought about only by new teachers. So please come, sit over here, sit in those chairs which have been previously occupied by your great teachers. Reach out to another set of audiences and please tell them your ideas, please tell them your thoughts, please profess to them because this profession is absolutely vital. So all the very best for those of you who are graduating out. All the very best for others also who are remaining behind and waiting to graduate. Thank you so much, the great department, for giving me the opportunity to reach out to another generation. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for coming back to our college and sharing your experience and invoking us with your conventional method of teaching, especially your way of description on the poem Raven, and for sure we will serve the concepts and ideas which you discussed with us.
Recognizing excellence is not just a tradition, but a celebration of hard work, talent, and commitment. Now, it is time to acknowledge our prize winners of various competitions. I request Ms. R. Harini, Assistant Professor of English, Coordinator of Quizlet, to kindly call out the names of the winners of Quizlet and paper presentation. We also request our vibrant chief guest to give away the prizes to the achievers. I request the students to enter through the left side of the stage to collect your certificate and exit through the other side.
Good morning, everyone. Quizzes, the Quiz Club of the English Literary Association, organized a quiz competition on 9th January 2024 on the topic Booker Prize winners for 1980 to 2023. I call upon students of Shift 1 to come and receive your prizes. The fifth prize was won by Hari Krishnan and Veena Jayaragani from 2nd BA. The fourth prize was won by Abhisha Jagadexti and Bhavya Shri from 1st MA. The third prize was won by Vashni and Kripavati from 1st MA. Abhisha and Bhavya Shri from 1st MA have won the fourth place. The third place was won by Vashni and Kripavati from 1st MA. The second place was won by Priyadarshini and Sandhya from 1st BA. And the first place was won by Ovia Vaidabharati and Manushri from 2nd MA. In the same quiz competition conducted for the students of Shift 2, the fifth place was won by Viola Dil, Christina and Tejaswini. The fourth place was won by Daisy Kanaha and Esther Jason. The fourth place was won by Daisy Kanaha and Esther Jason. The third place was won by Sharon Benson and Dada Vinanda. The second place was won by Shafana Fatima and Vishali. The first place was won by Amitavarshini and Samuel Mandianta. Next, the Best Paper Award is being presented to B. Navina and J. Kogeshwari from 2nd MA. The representatives of the Board classes are asked to come and collect the certificates for paper presentation. 2nd MA aided. Second MA aid. A representative from 2nd MA aid, please do come and collect the certificates. A representative from 2nd MA B, please come on stage. 2nd MA B. Next, I call upon a representative from 1st MA aided. A representative from 1st MA A. 1st MA A. A representative from 1st MA B. 1st MA B. Next, I call upon a representative from 3rd BA aided. 3rd BA aided. 3rd BA aided. Next, I call upon 3rd BA A. 3rd BA A. 3rd BA B. I call upon a representative from 3rd BA B. Next, I call upon a representative from 2nd BA aided. A representative from 2nd BA A. I call upon a representative from 1st BA aided. Thank you. Our students have adorned themselves with green colors accolades, crowning as overall champions in various intercollegiate competitions and securing countless individual prizes across different academic arenas. In celebration of these remarkable feats, let us immortalize these cherished memories together. Gather around winners and participants. Let's snap a photo and capture these memories together. Gather around winners and participants.
I request the participants and winners of all the intercollegiate competitions from various classes, Shift 1 and Shift 2, students and staff coordinators, kindly take to the stage, please. Miss Devi Nivedita, Miss Neha, Miss Lavina, Miss Joyce, Dr. Suresh Kumar, please come to the stage. Mr. Sam Golden, please come to the stage. I request Johnson Wright to please take to the stage.
I'm sure his smiles will make these moments last forever. Congratulations, winners! May this moment be a stepping stone to even greater success in the future. It's time to recognize and appreciate our ELA staff and student office bearers for their tireless contribution. I request Dr. S. Melvin, Assistant Professor of English, to call out the names of ELA students and student volunteers.
Good morning. It is indeed a momentous occasion as we have gathered to recognize and honor the exemplary leadership and dedication of the student office bearers of English Literary Association 2023-24. I'd like to invite the following student office bearers to come forward and receive the well-deserved trophies. I would like to request the head of the Department of English, Dr. Yashobna, to honor the student leaders. Ms. Ovia Bhairabharani from 2nd MA Aided acted as the Vice President. Ms. Carol Jennifer Grace from 2nd MA A as Vice President. Mr. Praveen Raj from 2nd MA A B section as Vice President. Miss Gopika from 2nd MAA as the treasurer. Gopika from 2nd MAA as the treasurer. Mr. Stewart from 3rd BA English as secretary. Mr. Judah from 3rd BA as secretary. Mr. Venkat Raj from 3rd BA B section as secretary. Mr. Jesania from 3rd BA Aided as joint secretary. May I kindly request the bursar, Dr. C. Dhanwal sir, to distribute the trophies. Ms. Srinidhi from 2nd MA Aided as cultural coordinator. I'm sorry. Dr. Suresh Frederick sir, the Dean of Training and Placement, will honor the students. Ms. Srinidhi from 2nd MA Aided as cultural coordinator. Ms. Samudha Varshini from 2nd MAB as cultural coordinator. Mr. Johnson Bright from 3rd BA as cultural coordinator. Ms. Manushri from 2nd MA Aided as media coordinator. Ms. Manushri as media coordinator. Mr. Larry John Ray from 2nd MA English as event coordinator. Ms. Jennifer Crislin Nelson, 3rd BA English Aided as technical coordinator. Mr. Matthew from 2nd MA Aided as office bearer. Now I kindly request Dr. S.P. Ruth Rajati to distribute the prizes to the office bearers. Ms. Sushma from 2nd MA as office bearer. Mr. Joel Christo from 2nd MA as office bearer. Ms. Brittany Sureda from 2nd MAB as office bearer. Ms. Betsida from 2nd MAB as office bearer. Ms. Varshini from 1st MA Aided as office bearer. Ms. Vanisha Samira from 1st MA Aided as office bearer. Mr. Muthukumar from 1st MA as office bearer. Ms. Janisha Rupavati from 1st MA as office bearer. Ms. Anushya Elvina Mashi from 1st MAB as office bearer. Mr. Sivaganesh from First MAB as office bearer. Let me invite Dr. Abraham to honor the office bearers. Ms. Ritika from 3rd BA aided as office bearer. Mr. Adrian Frederick from 3rd BA as office bearer. Mr. Kailash from 3rd BA as office bearer. Ms. Nasir from 3rd BAB as office bearer. Ms. Maria Jennifer from 3rd BAB as office bearer. Mr. Jeswin from 3rd BAB as office bearer. Ms. Vishalya from 2nd BA aided as office bearer. Mr. John Samuel Joseph from 2nd BA aided as office bearer. May I now request the chief guest of the day, Dr. Jinnah sir, to distribute the trophies. Mr. Joachim Anthony from 2nd BA. Mr. Joachim Anthony from 2nd BA. Ms. Shanmati from 2nd BA as office bearer. Ms. Annamika from 2nd BA as office bearer. Mr. Onesimu Moses from 2nd BA as office bearer. Mr. Ryan Maxon from 1st BA aided as office bearer. Mr. Ryan from 1st BA aided. Ms. Preeti Leslie from 1st BA aided. Ms. Amrita Lakshmi from 1st BA. Ms. Jennifer from 1st BA. Mr. Rahul from 1st BAB section as office bearer. Mr. Rahul. Ms. Karunya from 1st BAB as an office bearer. I'd also like to list out the names of volunteers. Ms. N. Reshma from 2nd MA aided. Ms. Sylvia Nancy from 2nd MA aided. Ms. N. Reshma from 2nd MA aided. Sylvia. Ms. Navina from 2nd MA A section. Mr. Surendra from 1st MA A section. Miss Judith Reshma from 3rd BA Aided Section. Miss Judith Reshma from 3rd BA Aided Section. Mr. Cyril Richard from 3rd BA Aided. Mr. Janice from 3rd BA Aided. Mr. Surya Prakash from 3rd BA A Section. Miss Ariel Chudal from 3rd BA A Section. Miss Ariel Chudal from 3rd BA A Section. Miss Leela from 3rd BA A Section. Mr. Mesha Karul Praveen from 2nd BA A Section. Miss Ashwini from 3rd BA A Section. Miss Nithya Lawrence from 1st BA Section.
Now, I request our White EA President Dr. G. Parvati, Associate Professor of English, to call out the names of the faculty involved with the Literary Association.
I also request Miss Ramya. Ramya from 1st BA.
May I now call upon all the members of the staff and students who took a lot of initiatives towards fundraising for Lit 23-24. I wish to honor, appreciate and deeply thank Mr. R. Susikiran sir. Please come over to the stage. Dr. Susikiran sir, I would like to invite sir and the team of students. Second BA section, please come to the stage. My deep appreciations and sincere thanks to the class teacher and the team of students for fundraising and contributing towards Lit 23-24. Thank you very much. I would also like to place on record my very sincere thanks to Dr. Annie Karunya Bhagya ma'am and the team of students, Mr. Arunachalam, Ms. Vishalya, Mr. Ashwin. I would like all of you to come to the stage, please. Mr. Arunachalam of first MA section, Mr. Ashwin and Ms. Vishalya from second BA aided, Mr. Vishal,
அது எரியுதா நீ மாத்துறேன்னா மறுபடியும் மாத்தணும் விட்டு அப்படியே அந்த மஞ்சள் கலர் சுடிதார் இருக்கு அதோட நிற்குது. மஞ்சள் கலர் சுடிதார் இருக்கு முன்னாடி நிற்குது.
Thank you, students and staff, for your very valuable contribution. I would now like to call upon the list of staff office bearers of the English Literary Association for the year 2023 and 2024. Dr. S. Navam Rajan, the Treasurer of the Association. I request the guest of honor of the day, Dr. Jinnah sir, to please give away the trophy and memento to the staff office bearers of the association. Dr. S. Abraham Selvakumar, Joint Treasurer of the English Literary Association. Mr. T. Aravindran from Shift 2 of the department as the Joint Treasurer of the Association. Dr. S. Melvin, the Association Coordinator of the department. Dr. K. Rajalakshmi, Shift 2 Association Coordinator. Dr. K. Rajalakshmi, Shift 2 Association Coordinator. Dr. R. Andy Karunya Bhagye, the Media Coordinator, and the Fundraising Coordinator of the Association. Dr. Andy, the Media Coordinator. Followed by Mr. R. Prasad and Mr. Sam Golden. Mr. R. Prasad and Mr. Sam Golden, Media Coordinator. Sam is also one of the coordinators of pre-birth schemes, Drama Development Association. Dr. J. Prem Kumar, coordinator of the Purchase Committee and the Art Design team of the department, Dr. J. Prem Kumar. Dr. S. Gordon Raj, the technical coordinator of the association. Dr. S. Gordon Raj and Dr. N. Padalam. Dr. Gordon and Dr. Padalam. Mr. Jeffrey Joseph, the events coordinator of the association. Mr. Jeffrey Joseph. Ms. S. Devi Nivedita, the cultural coordinator of the association. Ms. S. Devi Nivedita, cultural coordinator. Dr. Sri Aruna, cultural coordinator of the association. Dr. Sri Aruna, Nizar Bharani, coordinator, districts of the association. Nizar Bharani is also the coordinator of super experience. Kashika, the district coordinator of two of the department. Kashika, district coordinator. Now comes the recipient of the Felicitation Award. Dr. Karthik Saravanan, coordinator, keeper experience. Dr. S. Karthik Saravanan, coordinator, keeper experience. Dr. Sri Aruna, cultural coordinator of Shift 2. Dr. Sri Aruna. students help us in the drum. Most of students help us in the drum. Thank you very much to each and every student and staff, office bearer of the English Literary Association, and all the volunteers of the association. Thank you very much.
Let us capture the essence of teamwork and dedication in a single frame. We invite all staff and student office bearers along with our chief guests for a memorable photo session, immortalizing our collective contribution and unity. We invite all staff and student office bearers along with our chief guests for a memorable photo session. I also invite the volunteers, staff. I kindly invite all the student volunteers to come on the stage. I'm sure your smiles will make these moments last forever.
The end of a story is a new beginning for many others. On this note, let's conclude a remarkable, memorable, and knowledgeable Valediction session. On behalf of the Department of English, and especially on behalf of the English Literary Association, we thank all the dignitaries, and especially we sincerely thank our esteemed chief guest for gracing us with his presence and enriching our wonderful session with his inspiring words, and for honoring all the achievements of our students. Our deepest thanks to all. Dear students, sit back and relax a while. We will begin the most awaited farewell celebration shortly.
Dear student, we will begin the most awaited farewell celebration shortly. Hello friends, now for the much anticipated session of the day. Are you all ready? I hope so. Every beginning has an end. Every end has a new beginning. This is a relentless cycle seen in every aspect of our lives. We are here to bid adieu to our beloved students who are about to embark on a new journey. A special welcome to all the beautiful girls and handsome boys of the final year of UG and PG. As a dedication to the seniors, the lovable children are here to present various performances as a farewell treat. So friends, be ready to be dazzled by their performances. Dear seniors, we hope that you all will enjoy the upcoming performances. Before we move to the performances, we call upon UG Choir to commence the farewell through a prayer song.
சார் கட் பண்ணிடணும் நம்ம கையில செய்யலாம்
சரி
என் ஸ்ட்ரீம் தானா சார் ரெண்டு ஸ்ட்ரீம் தானா ஆமா சார்
be live. Okay. And